Good morning, guys. Welcome to Operation Crypto. Before we check the charts,
brace yourself.
definitely brace yourselves, because the market is absolutely tanking. Today's daily candle is absolutely horrific so far. We are wicking down towards this area now. Would expect major support at 23,800, and then below that we need to go to a different chart which has some historic price data. And if you're looking at the chart here, that's where we're currently at, around that region at 24,900. The only support once we break this level is back to those all-time highs that we had in the past. If we look at, I think it was around 19k, wasn't it? I can't see across that line. Just a little bit higher. So the all-time high previous was 19,735. Price action is currently at 24,900, and it is within this area now that I mentioned previously, where you would expect the price to potentially come down and test its that area there, isn't it? So if we just put a bit of a box on here, that is an area where potentially you're going to see the price wick before we do get any type of relief. Personally, I was expecting relief back up here. We were looking like we were forming a nice accumulation point, and I was looking for some relief up to 34s and maybe in 37s, but didn't play out. Not to worry, we just wait for the market to drop lower and then look at potentially buying. So at some stage the market will bottom out, whether that's now or whether that's in a year's time or whenever. It is what it is, and if you're getting too wrapped up in it, then try to take some time off the charts, because it is what it is, and it is just major selling action. And it's not just due to anything crypto related, really. I mean, well, we'll talk about it in a second, but the general macro outlook is bleak. We've got inflation going crazy across the world. We've got major things happening. We've got war. We've got the economic crisis due to funds that have been used for COVID. So there's just so much going on, which is going to take it out in the market at some stage, and that's exactly what's happening. What's happening today is due to that Celsius news. I presume that Celsius have stopped any type of withdrawal swaps or anything within their platform. So that's very bearish, massive company like that. And prior to the news, I've seen some information that they sent $320 million over to FTX. So who knows what they're doing. Maybe this is them rugging us and selling up. But yeah, price action does not look so good. Looking on the back to the chart, I've got to set up a little bit better. 25k is the area we need to really hold, and this is a major region. 23,800. I think it's an area where we could wick. I mean, let's get rid of that. Where we're currently wicked to, we're just at the top of that wick there. So I think there's a good chance we're coming to this area of liquidity now, and then we need to wait and see what happens. Usually, in bear markets or in any type of market, you get rallies up and rallies down, which usually classes as a bit of relief, whether you're bear or a bull. Not quite had that yet. I mean, if you look back to this other chart here, what I've mentioned in the past, this is what we have had. We've had, in this previous rally here, we had major relief rallies in oil, but we didn't have the economic crisis we got now, and this is just very bleak. I mean, we've not really had many rallies. We've had one rally here from the bottom there to the top, which was a 47, close to a 50% rally. We've not had a rally for a while, so at some stage we will get that relief in place. People will start buying back in, but restore a tiny bit of confidence. I thought that was going to happen up there, but it just never did. That will happen at some stage, whether that's down here, or I don't think it's going down to here, but well, definitely not going down to here, that's the bottom. But who knows? I mean, looking at some other levels, you've obviously got previous all-time highs. We've also got this region here, which is 13,400. I don't expect that's going to come down to those regions, but you never know. With quantitative tightening going on at the minute, with $1.1 million per minute coming out of the markets, nothing is out of the question. So that's some areas where we could potentially drop, but we're having a weekly time frame here, and look at RSI. It's not been down to this region here since the very lows of the previous cycle low. So if you look back into 2017, we had the all-time high, and then exactly 1 year later, by the day near enough, we had the cycle lows, and the RSI hit that level there, which was 28.23. We're pretty much there or thereabouts now. So the question is, do we bounce off that previous relative strength index, or do we just continue to go down and go in towards this oversold territory? There's still room to drop down in towards that region, so just be wary. If you are considering buys now, don't go all in. Just start laddering buys in. I've started to buy some V-chain back up there, currently underwater. It is what it is, isn't it? I've started to buy it. I sold it actually. Sold it at around 6.7 cent up here, so took a bit of profit there. Managed to buy it 0.0047, so up a little bit of profit there. Remember, at the minute, profit is king, so if you're looking for anything to take profit from, take it from the bags which you're wanting to accumulate. So price action is not looking good at the minute. Like I say, levels to monitor. So we've got this level here at 23,800. I think we will get a reaction off that, depending if Celsius keep rugging us. And then we've got the previous all-time high, which is below that at pretty much 1920k. So that's some levels for you to monitor. I can imagine the Ethereum greed index is very low. It's currently at 11. Should be lower. When that updates today, that's going to be on the floor, in my opinion. Looking at Ethereum, that's had a load of FUD recently. That's low. That's lower than the previous all-time highs back in 2018. Yeah, so we hit some all-time highs. We're actually below that level at the minute. If you're going to drop any lower than that, we've got 970, and then we've got this region here around 800 bucks, which is a potential area to buy. Who knows if it comes down there? Hopefully, you like me, I've got some stables there waiting. I'm not going to be going balls deep though, because I think at the minute cash is king. It definitely is. If you're keeping some even form of stable asset in your portfolio, that is the best thing to hold at a minute. So I still have some exposure to altcoins, which are my long-term bags, which some are in massive red, some are not. It is what it is. So for now, levels to buy I've mentioned there. We've got back on BTC, so we've got 23,800, we've got 20k members, 13 below that. And then looking at Ethereum, let's say levels below that I mentioned, we've got around 850, which is a potential, well, 826. There's a level that you could look to load up on if the prices continue to drop. But remember, when the market is dropping like this, it is usually times of capitalization. This could bounce back up on the daily, and it could be a big wick down. And from an outside perspective, or from an investor's perspective, you are looking for a capitalization wick, a bit like this. Look at that massive wick down. These wicks can get bought up, so just be wary of that too. This wick by the end of the day could be back up here. I'm not saying it's going to be, because it's getting absolutely churned off right now, and it is coming into this level of support here. I think that's going to be the region where it does bounce, to be honest. If it doesn't bounce, it's going to 20k. But overall thoughts on the market is, do not go all in yet. Save some stables in case it just gets more turbulent, because it's not looking good. The markets are pulling us down, but we've got to remain on the side of caution and the side of positivity. For me, it's now time to just sit on your hands, watch the markets, and don't get too pulled into it. For times like these, try not to make any irrational decisions, because making irrational decisions now, if you are not convinced about the future, then it could be a little bit hectic on your mindset. For me, like I say, I'm looking to start buying down. We are coming into this area which I've just mentioned now. We need to bounce off here, and hopefully it does end up being a big fat juicy wick. If not, we're going to 20k. Market is absolutely horrific. But that's going to do it for today. If you're new to this channel, please make sure that you are subscribed, hit that like button, and I'll catch you next time.